friends, I'm on the way to a neighbor's birthday party and her favorite dish is deviled eggs. So I thought I would show you how to make them simply deviled eggs. Step to making deviled eggs is simply filling your pot with as many eggs as you choose. I think I'm going to do 10 to 12. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and then I'm simply going to fill up my pot with cold running water. And you want to make sure it fills at least an inch over, but not too far over the eggs. Okay, so step 2 is I'm simply going to turn on the cooktop to medium high. Don't do it on high, don't rush it. Turn it on medium high until it comes to a boil, till it just comes to a boil, and then we're going to stop. Okay, so we are on the 3rd step. You can see my egg pan is just coming to a boil. Once you start seeing the bubbles, stand near because it's about to come to more of a boil. You don't want the shells to crack, so you want to kind of eyeball it at this point. Once you do see a few more bubbles, you want to simply turn off the heat. And there we go. Then we're going to remove it off the burner. Oh, well, make sure you get some pot holders first. Especially if you're using a stainless steel pan, because that hurt. Okay, so I'm going to take it off the burner, like so. And okay, so now they are off the heat, and I'm going to set a timer for 15 to 20 minutes. If you Google, it'll say to do 10 to 12, but my eggs have always been too soft when I do that. Depending on the pan size, I guess if it was a smaller pan, 12 minutes would be sufficient, but for me, I'm better with 15 to 20. Okay, so my eggs have been hanging out in their little hot bath, so we're going to scoop them out and transfer them into cold water. And all this does is it helps to prevent that little acidic green ring that you can see on egg yolk. So this is more for aesthetic. I mean, of course you can always eat the eggs if it has that little greenish hue to it, but you know, if you can avoid it, why not? So we're transferring, giving them a little temperature shock here, going from hot to cold. Got 2 more eggs to scoop in here. And then I always put some ice cubes on top, make sure it's super cold. And that's it. Okay. So our eggs have been hanging out in their little ice cold bath for about 5 minutes. And keep a paper towel handy if you want to save a tree. A lint-free towel will do. And we want to just tap the shell all over, don't be shy. And you want to kind of roll it around your hands to loosen up the shell. And you want to start on the end. You can kind of press. Okay, so this end has a little space, so that's where you want to start peeling. So you start from the top, and then you twirl around all the way to the bottom. Now these, sometimes they'll behave, and sometimes you have to fight with them a little bit. I have learned from research that the less fresh the egg is, the easier it is to peel. I just purchased these eggs, so maybe that's why they're giving me a little trouble. But that is a good tip to always check. This one, of course, is just giving me a lot of trouble. Let's just try another egg. So I don't know about y'all, but I ran into some issues with the rolling method on the egg. So I'm gonna try another method, which is just peeling as you roll it underwater. And you wanna make sure you have a stopper in your sink because you don't want eggshells to get into your plumbing. I mean, could cause an issue, I don't know. So, really, I had it in cold water, so I'm doing it under warm water. The differential between hot and cold allows there to be a bit of a barrier for separation. Under the shell, you want to respect the boundary between the shell and the egg. Yay! This seems to be working. Tell me what works for you guys. I love new tips. Okay, so I have divided out the eggs that are suitable for deviled eggs. They're really not perfect, you see, but I also have some that were really imperfect that I just saved for egg salad. But look at that beautiful yolk. No green egg little, ring. That was the cold water bath. It was worth it. So, make sure your eggs are nice and dry. Pat them dry. And you want to take a knife. Some people have them vertical. I'm a girl that likes to cut it horizontally. Oh, look how beautiful, bright and yellow. Oh, that is exactly what you want your egg yolks to look like. Creamy. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm just going to finish up slicing these eggs. Do you get your eggs the same size on mine? Sometimes are lopsided. I don't know about you. Okay, now I'm going to scoop. Get you a spoon. Start scooping out the yellow yolk, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I have taken a fork and mashed up my yolks. And I have 6 eggs here, so you can do 3 to 4 teaspoons of mayonnaise, depending on how creamy. If you like a little creamier, do 4. And if you like yours a little less creamy, then do 3. Also have a splash of apple cider vinegar. You can do about a teaspoon, half to 1 teaspoon. Gives it a little tartness, and about a teaspoon of mustard. You can do Dijon mustard or just the good old regular yellow mustard. I have yellow mustard. And then you just want to combine everything, and then salt and pepper to taste. And we are going to make sure this is all incorporated. Takes a little time. Make sure you take time to get it all the little lumps. You don't want lumps, because especially if you pipe with a pastry bag for the filling, that could be your worst enemy there. So I will see you back for the next step. All right, for this next step, I just took a Ziploc bag and I filled my yolk filling in there. And I'm just going to simply fill the eggs. You can just swirl them. You could make the pretty piping tips. I've done that before, but since we're doing simply, I would rather just throw away this bag afterwards and not clean any piping tips, because who has time for that? So look how quickly this is going. We are almost done. Easy, easy, easy. It looks like I was generous on some of the yolks on some. Oh well, no big deal, right? That one goes away. And that's it. Okay, and here is the last step. Top with whatever you like. You could do fresh dill. I opted for some paprika and some finely minced onions and black olives. Voila!